The major problem customers face in industry, and the reason they use split bearings more so, is the fact that you generally have to remove all the ancillary equipment off a shaft to be able to remove the bearing. That's extremely time consuming.
Downtime, that's the major thing. The hourly rate that you're not able to process product, and that can also lead to other problems as well. It's not necessarily just the application itself where you're looking at for bearing replacement, it's the before and the after in that as well.
In the real world, a general bearing change out, let's say for instance on a pinion shaft on a ball mill, would take anything from 17-20 hours up to 3 or 4 days, where now we can reduce that right down to 5 or 6 hours. Time is money, end of the day.
Despite the last 7 decades being effectively a Me Too product for split roller bearing technology, Bowman in itself has actually adapted the bearing design now, and we have produced something for the market that is far more accepting, far more user-friendly, far more efficient in uptime, far better technically, and is all-round a better performing product.
Bowman looked at the original concept of the split bearing and said, okay, we need to allow or create a bearing that basically evolves with industry demands. Yes, we're in a digital age, we're in Industry 4.0 for want of a better word. We had tools available to us that allowed us to go into design and production without having major design and production costs.
The 3D printing process has helped us immensely. It's taken away traditional machining capability and has replaced it with something really innovative. It's given us virtually no restriction in what we can actually achieve on a cage profile, the cage design itself, how the pockets where the rollers are located are manufactured. It really opens up a massive world for us. Doesn't give us any limitations at all. It literally is the sky's the limit.
Our split roller bearing carries the axial load via 2 axial thrust bearings. Everybody else has used the radial rollers to carry the thrust load on the edge of the roller. In effect, you have roller edge loading. That limits the amount of thrust load that you can carry by the radial bearing. But the advanced bearing that Bowman designed, you eliminate the need for the radial cage to carry any axial loading at all. So now you have a bidirectional axial carrying capacity, which allows us now to use it in various different applications that you wouldn't generally look at for a split bearing.
With the introduction of the 2 independent axial cage roller sub-assemblies, we are now able to significantly increase the axial capacity in the split roller bearing. We've also 3D printed our seals. They are 3D printed composite triple labyrinth seals. They are a Me Too product, but we offer an extended seal which covers worn shafts. This means that you don't have to replace the shaft when you are replacing your bearing with a Bowman split roller bearing.
On top of our advanced and our enhanced range of split roller bearings, Bowman looked at replacing an existing solid spherical in an SN/SD SAF housing with the advanced split bearing. We have this tendency where the roller, being a barrel shape, tends to jam between the inner and outer raceways, and we have a phenomenon called roller crush. That happens in one side of the bearing, depending on the direction of the axial thrust. The opposite roller set tends to lift off the inner race, so we have what we call roller lift. So we have one overloaded roller set and one underloaded roller set. We often see a phenomenon where the cage will collapse in the unloaded side and the roller will turn, and then catastrophic failure occurs. By using the Bowman advanced split roller bearing, we remove the need for the radial cage to carry the axial thrust. That's carried by the 2 independent axial cages. So you have the advantage of the advanced technology in the existing pedestal.
Unlike with traditional injection moulding or press tooling manufacturing processes, the 3D element for the cage design that we demand for our bearing and for our applications has significantly increased our load carrying capacity. It's given us the ideas and the innovation to be able to move lubricant in the bearing a lot easier as well and a lot more efficiently. So we see less lubricant being used in the bearing, whereas once there was significantly more. So the addition of our own in-house company and their innovation and working with us has really allowed us to expand on our bearing range, and we have a much better competitive and technically advanced product to offer.
By using the latest technology and new innovation, new design, we're able to meet the demands when people didn't know the demand was there. As we're a customer-centric company, it's very important that we hold stock that customers require. So the way we do that is not by holding ones and twos, but holding large amounts of every size here in the warehouse for immediate dispatch.
The customer has to be the main driver for everything that we do here. Without the customer, without their remit, without their brief, we fly blind. Without innovation, you don't evolve. That's something that we truly believe in.
Innovation is our culture. We get excited by new innovation. So the constant drive or the constant need to innovate is always there in the Bowman team.